The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world. I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to like it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and you are following me on all the social media platforms. That way, if there's a song, a band, a video, something you want me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comments section below. If you are going to leave it in the comments, do me a favor. Just A, no spamming, and B, read through. Someone's already made your suggestions. Leave a like and an I concur. That'll help my DJ brain get it into my handy-dandy notebook, and away we can go on our wonderful journeys together. I do want to thank Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. Without them, I wouldn't be here. So click the link, enter the code, and get your discount. Thank you to everybody for your suggestions, your comments, and your helps with pronunciations, geographies, and histories. Keep them coming. Leave them down below. Just remember, be respectful towards each other. You give what you get, man. Put out that good energy, and you get that really good energy back. Speaking of energy, mine's been a little down. I don't know if this affects any of y'all, but I get allergies really bad. And in the summertime, for some reason, when it gets dry, not a lot of rain, they really start to affect me, and my head feels like it's going to explode. So I apologize if I sound a little stuffy, a little weird. To be fair, I always sound weird, so I get that. So I just want to say I hope I don't sound off. Today we are going back into the Nightwish catalog. We're back on the Nightwish train. And there's a song, now I've got a song in my head, so I hope I don't get distracted. We're going to go back to 2000, and we're actually going to go to a live show from 2005, the End of an Era concert. And we're going to check out the title track from the 2000 album, Wishmaster. So I've been told that I've been pronouncing her name incorrectly this entire time, and it is pronounced like Maria. So is it, I'm going to ask, I'm just asking, please let me know down below just to clear everything up. Is it Taria or Tadia? So help me out here. Tadia is the lead singer. This is 2005, End of an Era live, Wishmaster. So that would be Yuka on drums. Here we go. I will say this, if you're a band, people love free stuff, man. Like people love, having worked in radio for 30 plus years, I'm telling you right now, people love free stuff. So anytime, you can always add extra points to the love that fans will show a band when they walk out and do something that a very young Marco just did, which is chuck out some pics or, some swag, whatever. It's very smart. Good marketing. I knew a dude that had keychains. His band had glow-in-the-dark keychains because you're leaving the show, it's dark, glow-in-the-dark keychains with his band's name on it. Good marketing. So good ideas. So young. Nice riff. is a really good mainstream tune right here. I really like this track. This is a great track. So I want to back this up and listen to that exchange again, that exchange into the choral. That riff. Such a classic tone, such a classic sound. Vocal. Such a classic sound, isn't it? Really, but not. I mean, it's a very from 2000 2005. I'm speaking in reference to that is Wishmaster live 2005 End of an Era tour with Tadia. Again, you got to help me out here phonetically. So let's talk about this on the three levels that I like to talk about Nightwish. The Holy Trinity, if you will, the relationship between the band and the audience, the relationship with the band and themselves, and the relationship with the band and the song. This is a really good mainstream, good driving symphonic metal rock song. There are elements of the symphonic sound because Tuomas is laying down this really rich and thick color pattern of the keyboards that is allowing you to flow between the metal and the choral. So that's what that's doing. It's allowing a door access between those diametrically opposed sounds, even though classical music and metal music are very similar in how they are structured. But he's really good. You know, I've always said this about Tuomas and the shirt. Don't worry, that video is coming up later today. The one thing I like about him is he really is good about measure, and I don't mean measure as in a 32 count. I mean measure as in measurements. He's so even-handed with what he's adding and subtracting and blending in with his arrangement. He's really good about how close to go to each line before pushing it over that line. So what he's creating with the keyboards here is a really good doorway between the classical vocals of his lead singer and that wonderfully rich, thick, perfectly toned riffs and solos that Empu is creating. Dude, this song is really Empu. Look, she is killing it. Taria's presence is commanding. She is without a doubt owning that stage, and her vocals are absolutely rich and textured. A couple of onsets here and there, but the pace of the song doesn't really allow for breathing. It really doesn't. So her ability to maintain that thick, rich vocal through such a driving foundation, and I'm going to get to that here after I'm done here, is just absolutely unique in how she's able to do that. So she's able to control that danger zone so well that it's so obvious that she is a highly trained singer. And watching her, knowing that she grew up doing classics and opera and stuff, watching her get into the metal, that's really cool. So she's really established, almost the I don't want to say Tardia is like the godmother of symphonic metal, but knowing when this is done and when this is recorded and how elevated she is from anything else around it at the time, she's really good at owning her space. And you have to do that when you're when you're fronting a band like that. But I want to get to this really cool foundation that was built between Yuka and Marco. And what did I write? Perfect tempo. This song has the perfect tempo, even when the tempos are competing. And this is, again, something else that Tuomas does, dude, that is so unique that he'll create. It's not polyrhythmic. That's not what he's creating. He's creating almost a dual tempo, a competing tempo on top of what the bass and the drums are already creating. The harmony between Taria and Empu are different than what is being created between Marco and Yuka. And what Tuomas does is he creates that bridge, and it's wonderfully done. It is absolutely brilliantly done. And that driving foundation that those two create, Marco and Yuka, so clean, so perfect in their changes, perfect in their bridging. When I was watching them go into these different elements, where is it? So it's right. Dude, I can't say enough about Empu. This guy may be one of my favorite new guitar players out there. His excuse me. People have the one thing I love about rock and roll is the one thing I hate about rock and roll, which is everybody's right and everybody's wrong. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's this weird, subjective, yet so passionate, and you're so right. You're so right in how you feel. This dude creates whatever tone is needed. Whatever tone is needed, whatever lick is needed, whatever riff is needed, this guy creates a unique piece of art. And I cannot express and again, he almost suffers from what a Roy Clark suffered from. And I don't say suffer, I apologize. Roy Clark, Jerry Reed, Eddie Van Halen, what it's not a suffer. That's not what I'm saying. When someone who doesn't know what you're doing and doesn't have any concept of how to do what you're doing sees you do it like it's nothing. Like it's like, whatever, dude. The arrogance, the hubris within each human creates this, well, it must be easy then. I cannot stress to you enough how perfect and brilliant Empu is at creating tone, unique, individual tone on his guitar and his riffs, and this solo especially. You know, a lot of times I grew up I came up during the 70s and the 80s with the prolific guitar gods, you know, and then the technical guys came in, and Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen, and, you know, all these cats with their taps and all this cool stuff that really was spawned by Eddie Van Halen and that easy, ain't nothing, I'm going to turn my back so you don't see how I'm doing it. It's such a valid argument that one could make that this guy is just as proficient and just as, like I said, dude, he may be in my top 5 guitar players right now. I mean, the tone that he's getting is very rich in what's the word I'm looking for? He's not a guitarist. He is a aficionado. He's prolific, meaning he is adaptable. He's a Finnish army knife of metal guitar, and he does it better than anyone else. And I'm finding I'm drawn to Empu. The more and more I watch him and the more and more I listen to him, the more I respect his abilities and his creativity and his mastery of that instrument. And I hope that it's not being overlooked by anybody. There it was. There it was right there. Right? That look right there. When you're in the crowd and you're hearing this complicated, this wonderful, almost cataclysmic journey of guitar bending, and you look up and you see that, the human being can't help but to think, shucks, man, it must not be that hard. Don't let that face fool you, dude. Do not let that face fool you. That guy is an incredible master at what he does, and don't ever think otherwise. But there's a part here. I mean, look at him. He's just leaned up, just chilling, playing very heavy. So here's that competitive tempo that I was just talking about. The competitive tempo that Tuomas is so good about adding into his songs sometimes. You know, it's this great piece that he does where you're hearing the foundation going at one tempo, and then when her vocals and harmonies come in, it's at a different tempo. So it's creating this conflict of tempo that is bridged by Tuomas and Empu. There's a double bass roll going on right now. Just absolutely brilliant how he composes these. And what makes this even more impressive are the musicians pulling that off. So again, I don't want anyone to think that, you know, when you see them playing it, they have such love for what they do that they do make it look easy. But don't ever think that what they're doing is in any way, shape, or form not complicated. That guy writes incredible pieces of music, and he's so good at adding the proper elements at the proper times and creating the perfect color patterns from each element coming onto that palette so that he can paint that spectrum, that perfect spectrum of width and depth and texture that allows you to go on whatever individual journey you go on listening to his music. And listening to her vocals and listening to his guitar and bass and drums. It all takes you on such a unique and individual journey. It's what creates that everybody's right, nobody's wrong kind of situation when you're processing what you're hearing. Because again, it can be overwhelming. It can be sensory overload. But he's so good at just the proper measure. So again, absolutely brilliant, even all the way back in 2000. And again, I first saw of Nightwish, I believe it was 2003, when they dropped Over the Hills and Far Away, the Gary Moore cover. So I think that's when I first picked up on who they were, and that was right in the middle of when this album, Wishmaster, came out, and End of an Era tour in 2005. So I just picked up on who they were around 2003, but I hadn't seen that. That was a brilliant performance. So again, brilliant performance from a brilliant song, from a brilliant composer by a brilliant band. So that was Nightwish with Wishmaster Live 2005, the End of an Era, from the 2000 album called Wishmaster. So thank you very much for that suggestion. That comes from the Gabriel list. So thank you, Gabriel, for putting that together. I'm trying to get down everything, man. I really, really am. So I appreciate that. Again, Wishmaster by Nightwish. If you do have a suggestion, just leave it in the comments below. Hit me up with a DM. No spamming. But again, go through the comments. Check everything out. If you've already seen the suggestion, just leave a like and an I concur. Thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. Click the link, enter the code, and get your bling. Thank you to everybody for correcting me and helping me out with all of my pronunciations and everything and dealing with my allergy sound right now. So thank you for taking time out of your busy hump day to give my video a watch. Make sure you are looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.